Okay, now we have arrived into the top 10 Pokemon of Generation 1. Let's go to number 10. Number 10 on our list is Starmie. I don't know why, but I always had a fascination with Starmie. Like, when you played Misty at like the second gym, just like, not only was like Staryu pretty basic. I wasn't a huge fan of Staryu, but like, then it's like Staryu on steroids, but now he's like purple and can shoot I don't know, the whole fact of Staryu and Starmie shooting laser beams out of its like red eye, or like now that it's a ruby or whatever, I just thought that was really cool. Every time I would beat Misty, I'd be like, damn, how do I get a Starmie? And I can't, to this day, I can't remember how you get a Staryu. It's probably through fishing or something like that, but Starmie's like so cool. At number 9, we have Cloyster. If you can figure out what he actually is inside of this shell or whatever clam, Cloyster is like if Ghastly or Haunter like got stuck in like an oyster shell, maybe. Like anytime you'd use like withdraw and then close the close the shell, that'd be kind of sick. A really cool clam. I don't know. I think it's sick. At number 8, we have Machamp. Machamp is like Machoke retains his belt, but then he's like, I think I'm gonna stop taking it easy, and even though I'm winning the belt, I'm gonna like really dominate boxing and fighting, and I'm just gonna have 4 arms now. It's one of the first like edition cards they printed, which a lot of people have. It's the most common rare card that they ever printed. I think it was like the first edition Machamp card. This isn't the exact one, this is a reprint, but still. Machamp was one of the first Pokemon that people got to see when they got the cards. So that was like kind of cool. I really loved secondary evolutions like Haunter, and I loved Machoke, but I didn't play with them because you needed to trade to get them, and I don't think a lot of my friends played Pokemon. So I just never really played with them because I'm like, why would I want to play with a half-assed Pokemon, right? Oh, the same thing with Alakazam, which is actually next up on the list. Dude has 2 spoons and psychic powers, and like Abracadabra Alakazam. The naming, fantastic pun job there. He's got that very like quiet strength that like you really don't want to mess with like the introvert with like psychic spoons. So I threw him on the list as well. This is my favorite bug grass Pokemon that is way underrated. So this is Beedrill. Beedrill is one of my favorite Pokemon because of the design, and he's got freaking like drills. He's got drills for hands. He's really weak, and a lot of people don't ever use him in Pokemon. But I love his design, like for a freaking bee with like horns. And next up is number 150 of 151 Pokemon, which is Mewtwo. Mewtwo is sick because he's the strongest Pokemon, I think. I don't know if he's stronger than Mew, which is the original. Sounds obvious, but Mew is like God, I think, in like the universe. And then they took some DNA, and then Giovanni and Team Rocket, they cloned Mew and made Mewtwo. So Mewtwo's like human generated, and I can't remember which one's stronger, but Mewtwo's, worst case scenario, is the second strongest Pokemon in the entire world. So Mewtwo, I remember watching the movie, I think it was like the original Pokemon movie where all the Pokemon go and fight Mewtwo, and Mewtwo's like rebelling against Team Rocket and Ash and stuff. So like there's a lot of nostalgia, and then you beat the entire Pokemon game. Spoiler alert. It shouldn't be, I mean you should have played the game by now, but you play the whole thing, you beat the Elite Four, you beat your rival, and then you get like to go to this cave and catch this legendary Pokemon. So Mewtwo is like the last Pokemon that you engage with. Next up is Gyarados. Gyarados makes the top 5 because of the fulfillment of the potential of someone. I love the fact, that's why Magikarp and Gyarados are one of my favorite Pokemon, is I love like the theme of being underrated and working hard. To get Gyarados in the game, you had to work really hard and like keep switching Magikarp out just to get experience, and it took forever to get to level 20. Then you get to level 20 and you get a freaking Gyarados. That's freaking nuts. And he's really strong, and he was on my team every time I played the game when I didn't have a water starter. So, because if I did, I had Blastoise. So it's like Blastoise is still sick, which he's actually next on the list. So let's talk about Blastoise. At number 3, we have Blastoise, B-Dog. Freaking cannons on his back. He's in a shell, a giant shell. He shoots He shoots a giant amount of water out of his back. He is the number 2 starter. Oh, you see where I'm going with this one. Charizard's in the top 2. Blastoise is so freaking sick. I picked him almost every single time. I picked Squirtle because he's adorable. Wartortle, the best number 2 starter. And then Blastoise is just a freaking giant turtle. And then you like stick his head in and do like this like rapid spin where you like spin and like hit people shell bash. I think that was the call of the move. Number 2, we have, is it Charizard? No, it's not. We have Pikachu. This is self-explanatory. Pikachu defines what is Pokemon. He is one of the most recognizable characters in all of anime and cartoon, other than Mickey Mouse. Freaking Pikachu. People can mimic his voice. Pikachu like is Pokemon, and ever since the first generation, they would remake Pokemon. They could remake Pikachu. They always had like a different, like some Pokemon that remotely looked like Pikachu. And Sun and Moon, when they made Mimikyu, it's a Pokemon that hides underneath a costume of Pikachu because it loves Pikachu so much. It's a ghost Pokemon. Anyway, it's freaking weird. I don't really like that one. But anyway, Pikachu, adorable. This one, he's freaking riding on a surfboard. That's pretty awesome. What kind of Pokemon surfs on a surfboard? None of them, except for Pikachu. So there you go. Charizard is my number 1 Pokemon of Generation 1. And I remember for my birthday, we went to the mall and we were like come up to a Pokemon booth or something like that, or like a trading card booth, and this kid was just pulling these holographic Charizard cards, and my dad like bought one off of him for $20. I mean, like, those things go for like dozens and dozens of thousands of dollars. Like, if I still had that card, that'd be absolutely nuts. But Charizard is the number 1 final stage evolution Pokemon. He's Ash's number 1 Pokemon since day 1. So from an anime perspective, he is like number 1. Charizard was my favorite Pokemon growing up, and it is what got me into Pokemon. I thought he was the coolest thing since sliced bread. He's a dragon that breathes fire. He's kind of cocky, but he's also one of the strongest Pokemon in the trading card game and the actual game. I have so much sentimental value for Charizard, and it's like a huge reason why I still love the game today. So, shout out to Charizard. Those are my top 25 Pokemon of the first generation.